Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Schwarz, and today's persuasive speech topic will be on the dangers of unsupervised steroid use. So I'm sure many of y'all have been to the gym before, and you may have had a run-in with someone that has gotten upset with you, and unbeknownst to you, you actually accidentally stole their equipment. And since they're an avid user of steroid use, but they don't properly research beforehand, you've actually run into what is known as roid rage. And so as a lifter myself, I've actually seen this countless times with enhanced athletes as they just don't know the full effects of what these steroids are doing to their body. So the purpose of this speech will actually be to inform about researching steroids before use to help kind of negate any effects that you may see. And it can actually lead to anxiety, depression, hormonal changes, in some cases death or suicide if you're not careful with your research. And to satisfy these issues, researching and talking to your doctor can help exponentially. And so by doing this, we can actually visualize a future where enhanced athletes are able to accurately implement these steroids into their day-to-day life and not really see any of these side effects. And so I hope y'all can take this information I displayed to y'all today and just use it to help yourself and others, and we can build a more physically fit and educated society. Okay, so firstly, let's talk about how weightlifting and exercise is a great way to kind of maximize your body's potential. But you need to do this research beforehand to make sure you're not going in blindly. And so what a lot of people don't realize is obviously it affects your physical aspects, but it actually affects your psychological as well. And so by researching this, I actually found a good source from drugabuse.gov, and this article states that steroid use has been associated with high blood pressure, decreased function of the heart's ventricles, cardiovascular diseases such as heart attacks, artery damage, and strokes. And this is even apparent in athletes younger than 30. And so the steroid misuse can actually lead to damage of yourself, obviously, but what about others? And whenever we kind of address the aspect of other people in your life, I have another quote from this website, and it actually states the psychiatric effects. So one can actually experience aggression, mania, and even delusion. And obviously these are gonna very negatively affect the relationships you have in your life, and it can almost indefinitely alter these as well. And by actually doing research beforehand and consulting your loved ones, any of your friends or your doctor, you can obviously help negate these side effects because you're going to be well informed and you won't make these mistakes. All right, now let's go more into the aspect of actually talking to your doctor. So a lot of people probably are scared, kind of don't really want to or hesitant to speak with their doctors about kind of sensitive topics because it's a big thing to speak about. It's hard to bring this up, but it's much better to address these side effects beforehand rather than try to fix them later. And so I have a good article written by Mason Johnson. He actually states that additionally, I did not face any kind of side effects that I used to get when I was a regular user of an anabolic steroid. And what he's actually addressing in this quote is he's using natural, legal, over-the-counter steroids that are actually backed by doctors. And so these steroids are 100% naturally occurring, and they actually, in most cases, are similar or almost equal to the benefits you gain from an illegal anabolic steroid. And let's see. So furthermore, doctors at pharmaglobal.com actually state that these anabolics are produced in the UK to the highest quality requirements using pharmaceutical grade components. And this website I quoted has all their info on the steroids listed completely, and so it's very transparent. You know exactly what you're getting into. And you actually have access to licensed physicians right on the website, which obviously is key whenever you're first getting started. You want to know as much information as you can, and it can be very daunting to do so, but to have it all in one location is very, very helpful. And now let's decide whether or not we want to follow the steps I have laid out for you to consider the steroid use. So obviously, doing your research first is key. If you want to gain something from these steroids, framing a goal for yourself is a great way to do so. Because if you have this frame, you are able to fit what steroids or maybe what drugs you think would fit into that frame. And by doing this, you obviously are showing to your doctor that you're really researching it well, this is something you're really interested in, and you're taking it very seriously. And so another quote that I have from PubMed.org source outlines the effects of trenbolone. This is a popular anabolic steroid. And so the website states that trenbolone can cause unrecognized risk for endocrine disruption. And the reason that endocrine disruption is such a bad thing to have is because it actually can cause birth defects in newborns. It can actually make cancerous tumors grow in the body, and it obviously leads to developmental disorders as well, which is obviously hand in hand with birth defects. And by doing this research, I was obviously able to conclude that trenbolone would not be a good substance for me to consume, as there's too many negative side effects to this. And furthermore, I actually went back to my Mason Johnson article, and he's talking about trenorol. And this is the naturally occurring substance that is kind of the counterpart to trenbolone, but obviously since it's 100% naturally occurring, you won't be seeing those same side effects. So I have another quote from him. It states that it's 100% natural, and it's used for bulking, gaining muscle mass and strength, and you actually don't need any prescription since it's obviously naturally occurring. And by doing this proper research and talking to my doctors and everyone around me, I was able to find what would work best for me if I were ever to delve into that kind of field. And so by doing that research, it's obviously helping me build a good mindset, and if I ever were to approach it, I would be comfortable in doing so. And then the last thing, I have a visualization. It's a little kind of a story I made up, but it obviously does happen. It has really good implications in real life. So let's say Joe and his friend, they've been lifting for a long time together. They've been going to the gym for years and years together. And over the last few months, Joe has really noticed his friend Mark he's just been getting really, really strong. He's getting a lot bigger. He's got more muscle mass. He's able to push more weight in the gym. And Joe, being a little naive, didn't think to talk to his doctors or maybe even talk to his friend Mark about it. He went up to the biggest guy in the gym. He said, "Hey, I want to get big like you. How do I do it?" And obviously, he helped get him steroids, but illegally. And the guy at the gym, obviously not knowing how to explain all this to him, didn't tell him any of the side effects or anything. So now let's flash forward about 4 months. Joe's feeling strong. He's got about 20 pounds more on his body. His weightlifting has gone up exponentially on his numbers and everything. He looks healthy, but he doesn't feel healthy. And why is that? So unfortunately for Joe, he didn't do his proper research, and so he's feeling angry, he's hungry, he's just feeling sick because he just didn't address what he could have potentially stopped from happening initially. He just went into it blindly and just decided to do it the easiest way possible. And by doing this, he obviously affected his entire body, not only mentally, but physically and mentally. And he's not really able to reverse these side effects because it's too late now. And so this is pretty much a perfect example of why researching beforehand is key before you delve into something such life-altering, obviously. And in conclusion, this speech we discussed the steroid use and how without proper supervision through your doctors, family members, anything like that, it can have detrimental effects on your health. We also talked about how you can do it safely. You just have to, obviously, again, speak with everyone around you before you decide to delve into this world, because it is a very, very big thing to change. It's a lifestyle change. So it's something you need to address seriously. Then we also visualize the difference between an informed and uninformed person between Joe and Mark. Obviously, there's a very big difference between the two. So one was informed and one just had no idea what was going on. He was just trying to get the solution as fast as he could. And then we also laid out kind of the steps you should take to go through steroid use and how you should approach it and the best way to do so. And within this speech, I hope I was able to display the importance of research before use. And by following the information I gave you today and the steps I outlined, you can see for yourself and others how you can avoid a world of hurt by doing proper research, and we can create a safe and healthier future. All right. Any questions?
No, that was very informative. Thank you, Ryan.
All right. Thank you.
I'm persuaded.
Thank you.
Thanks.